G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Flashlight Crazy. Today my pocket carry is the Macgizmo Haiku. This has the Nitecore 119V emitter and the 14500 body. Great light, tough as nails, man. And I believe the maker Don actually designs these to go diving with, so it's just an incredible light. I have reviewed it before in the CR123 body. I am going to review it again in the 14500 body, and I'm going to show you how to open it up and remove reflectors and remove engines and things like that as well. But that's my pocket carry for today. Now, today for the review, we have a heads up between the new Olight Javelot and the new Nitecore MH25 Pro. Let's check them out. All right, so here we are, the head-to-head between the Nitecore MH25 Pro, here, UHI LED, and the new Olight Javelot, which also, funnily enough, has a very, very similar looking LED, guys. So that is the Olight, that is the Nitecore. The yellow bit on the Nitecore is larger. I can see that there. But apart from that, these look very, very, very similar, guys. Very similar. Okay, so comparing holsters, because apart from the holsters, all the accessories are the same. Okay, so hardened plastic holster that slips over your belt like that. It's got a hook there to stop it from coming off. And your Olight, if I just move the pocket clip, your Olight goes in like that, okay? It will not fit in with the pocket clip around the other way. Just maybe want to think about that. And if I actually move the pocket clip around here, and it'll go button towards the back, but I don't know if that will turn it on or not. No, I don't think it will. So that's how that holster works. Then the Nitecore, you've got a Velcro holster, lens up. It's obviously not a quick draw holster like the Olight, but it does seem more secure, to be honest. And it's got a double loop with a Velcro area here. It's not going to fit as snug, I don't think, on your belt, but it's pretty secured on there. That's a tough one. Very different holsters. So, you know, it just depends on what you guys would prefer. This looks like a more compact kind of quick draw holster, whereas this one is probably the one you'd want if you were going for a run or a jog or, you know, police or military kind of attire. Not exactly, but kind of attire so that, you know, you can run around with it and it not fall out. I don't know if it would fall out from this, but it's obviously more likely to fall out from this than it is from this. And look, the only other difference between the way these charge is the Olight has a magnetic charger that slaps on the back of the tail cap there, whereas the Nitecore has a cord that plugs into their USB-C. So that's the only difference. There is a nice large lip on the Nitecore, and it is a very, very deep, if you can just see that there, it's a very deep charging port. So whilst I'm not the biggest fan of onboard charging, having a deep port with a thick lip like that, I'm okay with. Okay, so we'll install the batteries. Now, the batteries are the same, except for, so they're both proprietary batteries, I believe. They're both 3.6 volts, I believe. Where does it say? Yep, both 3.6 volts. And they're both 21700s, but we have here 5,300 milliamp hours and here 5,000 milliamp hours. So look, what's 300 milliamp hours when you're talking in the thousands? Probably not much, but you know, someone can correct me if they think it is much. Now, both of these batteries are installed by the tail. Unscrewing the tail, I've got to say the threads felt better on the Olight, just by a hair. Okay, so here they are. Now we'll go over kind of the look and feel of them first. So first things off the bat is that the Olight feels heavier. So let's just test that out. But it's smaller, you know, so it's more compact, which is nice. But let's just see if it actually is heavier or if I am tripping. So with the battery and pocket clip included, the Olight Javelot comes in at 210 grams, 210.8 grams. And the Nitecore comes in at 209.08 grams. Wow, that's not bad that I actually picked that up because that's only a gram and a bit difference. Okay, so we won't worry too much about weight then because they're not very, well, they are very similar, I should say. Feeling the hand. Look, I think despite the Nitecore having more of a ground into your palm back here, I want to say I think the Olight is more comfortable. Now, as you just saw then, I'll go into the operations shortly, but one big plus for the Olight is that you can operate it from the side switch, whereas the Nitecore you can't. It's got to be turned on and then you operate it. So that is a big plus for the Olight, I've got to say. Faces are almost identical. Reflectors are just as deep as each other, but as I said, the Nitecore is using a larger emitter than the Olight, despite them looking the same because they're both those circular emitters. But the Nitecore is using a larger footprint of that emitter. It also seems here that the Nitecore has a proximity sensor, and I don't know if the Olight does. No. Okay, so it doesn't look like the Olight's got a proximity sensor, whereas the Nitecore does. See that? Proximity. Okay, so both of these lights will tail stand, although the Nitecore is precariously tail standing, whereas the Olight feels pretty damn solid. Ooh, yeah, okay, so I mean, look, it's not too bad, but it's less sturdy, the Nitecore is, than the Olight. Bodies look pretty similar, guys. They've got this ribbed look about them. And the patterns are different, but, you know, the make is very, very similar. Bit smoother on the Olight, I've got to say. And actually, that brings me to my next point, which is the finish. The Olight has this smooth matte finish, whereas the Nitecore has this smooth, not glossy, but glossier finish than the Olight. Olight's very matty, and the Nitecore is not. Side switches, I'll just turn this on so it's fair. Side switches, I much prefer the Nitecore. So Olight is still responsive, but there's no real good click. Nitecore, oh, look at that. That is just perfect. Great click. So love the click on the Nitecore. Oh, now battery level indicator on the Olight is just one green dot. On the Nitecore, it is very specific. That's your output. That's your battery level indicator. So it's very, very specific there. Big plus for the Nitecore for that. And actually, back to the side switch, the Nitecore not only has a better feel, better response, but it's larger and it's much more easy to find than the Olight. So definitely the Nitecore gets that tick from me. Pocket clips. So both of them are reversible, meaning you can put them here or here on both lights, okay? So you can have lens up, lens down, whatever. Both of them are two-way pocket clips, although I don't understand, or I can't see this being put on a cap because they are very heavy lights, but it does give you the option to go lens up or lens down. Tail switches. Yeah, look, I can't go past a good old forward clicky switch. I'm sorry. The Olight switches are great, and this upgrade, this is an upgraded tail switch, makes that platform reaching very easy for medium before you push all the way in. But I just can't go past a good old-fashioned forward clicky rubber clicky, you know? It's just the way I like it. Now, measurements are as follows. So we've got here 13.5 to 14 centimeters long is the Olight, and the Nitecore is 15 centimeters long. So as you can see here, it is a good 1.5 centimeters taller. But face width is literally identical. That fits very flush, like a puzzle piece. And bodies are relatively identical as well. Holding them like this, I got to say the Nitecore feels better because it's got that longer tube. So it does feel that the thumb is where it feels more comfortable, just more natural. Whereas the Olight's still comfortable, still natural, don't get me wrong. But see how my thumb is kind of bent downwards a bit more, whereas in the Nitecore it's not. that's the comfort level. It's nothing major, but it's still something to mention. Now, both of these are obviously hotspot and spill lights. So you've got the hotspot and the spill there. They are reflector beams, as you can see. Same with the Olight, hotspot and spill. The Olight does have some circular kind of swirls. Looks like a bit of a galaxy going on around that. Don't know if that's going to bother anybody really. I mean, if you're wall hunting, it might, but out in the field, it's not really going to do. It's not going to make any difference at all. Just check that on the wall. Yeah, that's got a nice ring of bleeding around the hotspot, which is cool. So let's move on to outputs and all that type of stuff. Before we do that, actually, both these lights have 2 modes. So I've got them both in tactical mode right now. So tactical mode for the Olight is no change for the side switch, but for the tail switch, everything's momentary and you get a half press to medium mode and then a full press to strobe, but it's just momentary. And with tactical mode on the Nitecore, there's no memory. It always comes on in the highest output, and I am incorrect. It's not in tactical mode. So what I'll do is turn it on tactical mode. So I will press the side switch from off, click that, moonlight mode or lowest mode will come on, keep holding. 2 flashes means tactical mode. Now, what I was saying would be correct. When you turn it on, it comes on in your highest output every time, and then you can cycle down. But if I leave it in that and turn it off, when I turn it back on, bang, full output. So the fact that both of these have a tactical mode and a daily mode is pretty cool. We'll go over them in daily modes, I believe. So press and hold, click, and just wait, and you'll see 1 flash. Okay, daily mode it is. And with this one, with the Olight, it's the opposite. So you press down all the way with the tail switch first, then click the side switch. So press all the way, then click. Now we are in daily mode as well. So daily mode, same operation with the side switch, but with the tail switch, you have half press, let go, half press, let go into your low mode, full press, let go into your highest mode. All right. Okay, so let's get them. Actually, I'll get this to moonlight mode, and I'll get this to moonlight mode. Okay, so both of your moonlights are on now. So moonlight with the Olight here is 0.5 lumens, and you'll get that for 72 days. And then ultra low, they call it here, is 1 lumen for 650 hours. Now, this is where I like the Nitecore because it's a single click to cycle, whereas with the Olight, it's a press and hold, and I like the single click cycle much better. So now here with the Olight, we're at 15 lumens for 7.5 days, and at the Nitecore, we are here at 50 lumens for 50 hours. Now, single click, press and hold. So now the Olight is 150 lumens for 30 hours over here, and the Nitecore is 300 lumens for 7.5 hours over here. Now, single click, press and hold. The Olight has now reached 650 lumens for 170 minutes and then drops down dramatically for an additional 120 minutes. The Nitecore is now at 1,200 lumens for 2.5 hours. Now, single click, turbo, press and hold, goes down to low. So you need to get to turbo with a double click from the Olight. 1, 2. Okay. Now the turbo here is 1,350 lumens for 2 minutes. Then it drops down to 44% of that for an additional 155 minutes. The Nitecore here is 3,300 lumens, but you only get that for 30 minutes. And it will step down as it just did then. I don't know if you saw that, but it just steps down already. So 2 minutes of 1,350 lumens, or 30 seconds of 3,300 lumens, but then it steps down dramatically. Now, the distance of throw you'll get with the Olight on this output is 730 meters, 134,000 candela, mind you. And then the distance here when it's on turbo for that short time is 705 meters with 124,000 candela. But again, you got to remember, Nitecore doesn't stay on its turbo modes for very long at all. They should be called like burst modes or something. They They don't sustain turbo modes very well. Now, just holding these two, they're both getting pretty hot. Honestly, the Olight feels like it's getting hotter, but that's because the Nitecore has stepped down. I don't know what it stepped down to. It doesn't tell you what it stepped down to, but it definitely has stepped down. If I actually cycle, it stepped back up. And now it is getting very hot. But if we just keep watching the screen or watching the Nitecore there, you will see a step down. Now the Nitecore is getting extremely hot again, but you will see a step down. So the thing is, it's nice to know that you can just click the switch and step it back up after a while, after it's cooled down. But let's just see if we can try and catch a step down again. Oh, there it goes. Do you see that? Okay, so it definitely stepped down. So the Nitecore stepped down twice in the time that the Olight hasn't stepped down at all. And just take a look at the spill difference. The Olight spill seems to be more clear and a crisper circle than the Nitecore. That's just my observation there. So everything inside the spill of the Olight is going to be clearer than in the Nitecore. Nitecore is going to be a bit milky. But now that it's stepped down, if I click again, yeah, it comes back up to turbo. So that's pretty cool that you can switch it back up to turbo. Just remember, you're going to drain the battery, something shocking. Now, in terms of heat, yeah, the Nitecore is a lot hotter than the Olight because I keep stepping it up to turbo, which makes sense. Now, the Olight has a 1.5 meter drop resistance. The Nitecore has a 1 meter drop resistance, and both of them have a 2 meter water submersible distance or water submersion. So that's pretty good. Okay, so let's go off to the night shots and then we'll come back for some final thoughts, prices, and where to buy. See you in a sec.
All right, first up is the Nitecore. And yep, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's turbo. I'm a bit closer than I normally am because there's too much light there right now. So my apologies, but that's the Nitecore. Massive hotspot, heaps of spill, very bright, very illuminating. Very bright hotspot. Get a good look. Very distinct hotspot and spill light. All right. Now the Olight. Smaller hotspot, slightly greener tint. I haven't checked lumen comparisons or anything like that yet. I'm doing that tomorrow. So right now it's just what the eyes can see. They do look similar. The hotspot of the Olight does look brighter slightly. So I wonder if it's got more candela or not. Remember, I don't know yet. I'll go back to the Olight in a second. I'll go back to the Nitecore in a second. All right, hang on. It's tough. The significant difference is the size of hotspot, definitely. Much bigger in the Nitecore. But in terms of brightness, maybe the Nitecore is brighter actually. Damn, man, this is hard. They're both pretty good. What do you prefer? All right, see ya.
All right, so there are a few things you're going to have to take into account when making a decision like this. Number one is, how do you want to hold the light? Because if you really only want to hold the light like this, then the Olight has a slight advantage in that it can be turned on and off by the side switch, whereas the Nitecore can't. The Nitecore does need to be initiated with the switch and with the tail switch, sorry, and then it can be controlled with the side switch, but it also needs to be turned off by the tail switch. So that's something to take in mind. If that doesn't bother you, then the way these UIs are set up is not going to matter. If strobe is important to you to access instantly, then the Olight will probably be your pick, because in tactical mode, which I'll just show you. So in tactical mode, there it is, you can press down on the tail switch and it gets strobe immediately, okay? That is easier than in the Nitecore, turning it on and then pressing and holding and waiting and to access strobe, okay? So if strobe's important for an instant access, then the Olight's for you. If, however, strobe's not that important, but an instant turbo is important and then cycling down from there, then the Nitecore might be for you as well, because the Nitecore has a turbo mode of 3,300 lumens, which is basically 2,000 more lumens than the Olight. What is interesting is that this Olight has 1,300 lumen max, this Nitecore has 3,300 lumen max, but the Olight beats it in distance because it's got more candela. That is an interesting thing. That must be because of the smaller emitter that is in this, whereas the Nitecore has a bigger emitter. However, the Nitecore will give a bigger hotspot, therefore better for blinding. So these things you need to take into account. The other thing you probably want to take into account is size. The Nitecore is rather big compared to the Olight. The Olight's pretty compact. It's borderline pocketable. I mean, I probably wouldn't pocket it, but it's borderline. The Nitecore is, I think, just past the pocketing point, but you could pocket it, just not very comfortably. Neither of them are going to pocket comfortably, but you could. And I think charging is important as well. So both of these have onboard charging. However, the Olight has no opening to onboard charge. It's just the magnetic switch that goes onto the back there. Whereas the Nitecore, you know, you have to open that switch, lip open and charge it through that. So, you know, that might be a bit annoying or a bit of a deal breaker for some people. I don't know. These are just facts. I'm just stating the facts. Now, proximity sensor might be something you want or don't want. If you do want one, the Nitecore's for you. If you don't want it, the Olight's for you. I guess what my conclusion about these two lights is Nitecore would make a fantastic self-defense light on tactical mode because it comes on in your burst 3,300 lumens, okay? In fact, I'm just gonna change it back to tactical mode and just let it flash twice. Okay, so the thing is, no matter what you leave it on, no matter what you turn it off on, in tactical mode, the Nitecore comes on in 3,300 lumens, very, very bright and very blinding. But the battery's gonna run out quicker. So with the Olight, you can still get your instant access to strobe or to turbo, whatever your in daily or tactical mode is. But it's not going to be as bright. But I mean, when you're talking 1,300 lumens or 3,300 lumens, they're both going to blind someone in the darkness really well. So I wouldn't take too much, you know, skin in the game off that one. So I guess it just comes down to the age-old question. These two companies will fight until the end of time. Which side do you pick, the Olight or the Nitecore? For me, this is tough. I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go the Olight in this case. I know I've chosen Nitecores sometimes in different aspects, but the thing is, man, I love the tail switch being a forward clicky and being a rubber tail cap. I love the side switch and how responsive it is and how large it is, but it's kind of a deal breaker for me that you can't turn it on by the side switch. It's just a deal breaker. Now, if you couldn't turn the Olight on by the side switch and the UI was exactly the same, I'd choose the Nitecore. If you could turn the Nitecore on by the side switch as well as the Olight, I'd choose the Nitecore. So the decisive factor for me is that I don't always want to have to rely on pulling my light out, turning it on, and then if I'm holding something in this hand, getting all awkward and changing outputs, and then like, oh shit, I need to turn the light off. Okay, don't drop it, turn off. I don't like that. It's annoying, and I don't like that. So that is my, I guess that's my decision, which, you know, I don't like to not make decisions on this. So that is my decision for this comparison. In terms of price, I don't know exactly how much they are at the moment, but I will link them at lightshop.com.au and Olight. I'm not sure if this is at Lightshop yet. I think last time I checked, the Nitecore was 175 or something. But look, I'll link it straight away. I'll link it. Just scroll down, click see more, I think, and you'll see it there. You'll see lightshop.com.au, Olight Australia, and just click on those links, and I'll even write the price next to it if you just so you can see the price. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.